What's up, my loves? I am cleansing this space with a little bit of rosemary, and now the energy is like a little mellow, a little cute. We're calm. Okay, so today what we want to talk about is being childish. We want to talk about youth. We want to talk about being childish. We also want to talk about those of us who didn't have a childhood because we had to be responsible for ourselves, responsible for our emotions, responsible for watching ourselves. For some of you, being responsible as in having jobs, having to take care of yourself, right? If you didn't have parents who were capable of tending to you emotionally, mentally, physically, in terms of like food, right? Financially, then you had to take on a lot of responsibility for yourself at a really young age. So let's jump right into it. Growing up, I was told that basically being a kid was bad. Not being a kid was bad, but being a baby was bad. We're going to talk about a lot of these contrasting, conflicting messages that we've received a lot, right? So as a kid, you're crying to get your needs met. Then you get the message, stop acting like a baby. Stop acting like a baby. How old are you? How old were you when you got the message, stop acting like a baby? 4, 3, 5? You know who I would consider to be a baby? Anybody just about probably like 0 to 12. 0 to 12. Probably about 0 to 12. Probably. Especially if they are psychologically underdeveloped. Meaning, if they're not getting their needs met as a kid, there's a lot of adults who are walking around who are psychologically 3 years old, but because they have adult bodies, So, because I was raised in an environment where you weren't allowed to be a kid, I was raised in an environment where stop acting like a baby, be a big girl, blah, 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 blah. This is not good. This is the talk that we had over on Instagram. For those of you watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Instagram, it's the choosing to take responsibility for your live that we did last Monday or like yesterday. What day is it? I don't know. Moving on. Say you're a Pisces without saying you're a Pisces, am I right? Okay, so you get this message that being a kid is wrong, or being a baby is wrong, having emotional needs is wrong, needing somebody to tend to you emotionally is wrong. You need to do that yourself. Stop whining, stop being a baby, stop having emotions, stop being sad, stop doing all the things that I don't want you to do, right? So then you get that message, and then you get the message, stay in a child's place. Then you get the message, you're a kid. Then you get the message, right? Insert all of the messages about you're young, you're incapable, you're not good enough. And so you got one aspect of you, one part of you, one life experience where I'm not going to take care of you. You're old enough to fucking take care of yourself. Then you got another aspect of your life where it's you're not good enough. You can't take care of yourself. You're too young. You're blah, blah, blah. Today we're talking more about this one. So as a kid, nobody was meeting my emotional needs. I have a Capricorn moon. Thank you for asking. And I just remember I always wanted to be really, really mature, right? Really wanting to be mature. Now that I think about it, was it wanting to be mature because I am mature, or having to be mature because there was nobody who could allow me to, just be a kid? So I was really obsessed with hanging out with teenagers and like hanging out with the older kids. So for those of you who are like, wow, like why does Nathallie have so many friends so easily who are in their 30s and in their late 20s? How does Nathallie connect with us so easily? Because I've been hanging out with millennials since I was about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. Just kind of sitting there, just paying attention to them and how life is for them and how they're figuring things out. You know what I mean? So just really trying to kind of put on this front, basically, right? Of I'm mature, of I can be an adult, I can blah, 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 blah. And I didn't really think that there was a problem with this until I realized two contrasting sides of me. You got one side of me who is Pisces sun in the 5th house. This is a child. This is a child, not in a bad way, in an amazing, beautiful, youthful way. If you have a Leo sun, if you have your sun in the 5th house, maybe if you have Mercury in the 5th house, maybe if you have Venus in the 5th house, maybe if you have 5th house placements, maybe if you have Leo placements, okay? Your 5th house and your Leo placements are the places in your fucking chart where you are always going to be a kid, okay? And now they're singing Jay-Z, Forever Young. I know that that's a like remix, whatever, but whatever, whichever version of the song that you know, okay? So there is this part of me who is just, I'm so young. And that makes me really happy. Because I'm going to look this young forever. This is how I'm going to look. Like, I'm looking at me at 30 right now, and me at 45, and me at 75. You know what I mean? Maybe with a couple more lines there. Okay, maybe like a couple more lines there as well. But still, this, okay, for those of us who are really, really young and are really, really youthful and probably have a lot of Leo energy, like, you're gonna be young forever. There's this ongoing joke that I have with my guides of like, we're just chit-chatting today, okay? We're gonna get to the point. It's there. It's not a big deal. We're in no rush. I have this like ongoing joke with my guides, basically, where I'm just like, you're a Pisces, you know what I mean? And a part of being a Pisces, for those of you who have like Neptune on the 1st house, you're fucking Pisces rising, you got a Pisces sun, like, baby, you're adorable. You're fucking cute. You're a cutie. And I always like get so mad, and I'm just like, I don't want to be cute, I want to be sexy. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not to say that I'm not, but like, primary function is adorable. You know what I mean? So, just being able to see myself in this light, being able to actually be youthful, a lot of this, like, calling me a child, calling me young and all of that, that was something that I really fought against for a long time. And I realized that it's because I never got to be young. Being young wasn't appropriate. Being a child wasn't appropriate. Being a baby was never appropriate for me at any point in my life. So what is the biggest insult that you can give to me is to call me a baby. The biggest way that you can insult me, well, not today because I don't give a fuck, but still, at some point in my crooked glasses life, the biggest, how do they keep getting, okay, no, keep moving forward. So at some point in my life, the biggest insult that you could give to me was to call me young, was to call me a kid, right? And it's also because you get so many associations of youth and being a child and being a kid with being dumb, with being naive, with being bad, which in reality are not necessarily being bad, or just like not being good enough, being incapable. And in reality, these characteristics that we typically assign to young people, specifically young women, they're not actually the results of youth being young and dumb. It's the results of trauma. A lot of the actions and things that I was doing, it's like I can look back and I can say, oh my God, you know, it's okay because I was 19 years old. But in reality, it's because I was traumatized, not because I was 19 years old, right? Because if we raised our daughters to love themselves and to demand respect in relationships, then it didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered if I was 6, 12, 16, or 19. I wouldn't have been attracted to those people. I wouldn't have had those interactions, yada, 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 right? So this idea of youth, this idea of being childish is something that I have fought against for so long, right? I'm talking to this guy, I'm talking to this person, and they're like older than me, and like, what if they think that I'm childish and blah, 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 blah. Worst thing that could ever happen in the world. And then I just fucking realized, like, that's probably not the worst thing that you could ever do in the world. One of the best things that I love in terms of like my manifestation, law of attraction stuff, I love play. We're playing together. I want to play with somebody who does this, 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 and this, and this. I want to play with somebody who acts like this. We're not having sex. We're playing. Not saying that children should be having sex. I am an adult grown woman, so yeah. But that's the energy of the fifth house, right? It's just that kind, it's forever young. That's all that I can say. So the message today is about being able to play around with, connect with, and tap into your innocence while also maintaining a feeling of respect, right? One of my biggest problems with kind of society, the world in general, is that we tend to not respect children. We don't respect their perspective, right? Because we see them as incapable and dumb and all of this, but children are fucking brilliant. Children are everything. Children are the world, right? So just being able to show up for myself and love myself and love my childish aspects. And there are some times when, there are some times when I just want to talk all the time and I want to play all the time and I'm just kind of all over the place. And I wouldn't say it's the characteristics of a child, you know what I mean? But not like an actual child. But if it was, then I suppose that would be okay. So do you see what goes on here? Where I'm like, yeah, I like to have fun, I like to play, and then inside of me is like, well, you know, like not too much fun, like not fun that adults like us you know what I mean? Like sophisticated adults don't have fun. I fucking hate that. You know what I mean? Like, no, I like to have fun. I'm a fun person. I'm going to be a fun person for all of my life. I'm going to be having fun and I'm going to be playing for the rest of my life. I'm going to be this vivacious and this young and this childish forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And, I think that it's really interesting that a lot of people just get to a point in their lives, we tend to say maybe like mid-20s, late 20s, when you hit 30 and it's all of a sudden like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be this new person. I'm supposed to not have fun. I'm supposed to not have X, Y, and Z different thing. And it's just being able to realize like, no, that's not real. No, professionalism isn't real. Sorry for those of you millennials who have already kind of acclimated to work life and professionalism and all of that. Gen Z, future generations, we're not dealing with that bullshit. We're just not having it. It's not something that professionalism is dead. Professionalism is canceled. And we're not talking about being able to honor your commitments and show up for yourself and be responsible. The moral of this story is that you can be both. You can be responsible, you can be intelligent, you can be the person who has all of the amazing ideas, and you can also be incredibly childish. You can also be incredibly fun and all of this stuff, right? There's this, adults, I don't want to have fun. I don't want to play hide and go seek. Why the fuck not? Because to me, being an adult means being able to take responsibility for my life, being able to take responsibility for my bank account. I want to play hide and go seek in Bali. I want to play hide and go seek in Greece. I want to play freeze tag in Paris. I want to play tag on my private jet that is so big that I can run around in it. But do you see how being an adult doesn't have to mean abandoning being a child and having fun? It can mean I now have more resources and more power to have more fun, and that's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to look like, and that's what Leo teaches us, and that's what fifth housers teach us. That's what Leo placements teach us. That's what people who have that youthfulness and that fun, that's what they teach us, is that you're never too old. There is no such thing as growing and losing that. There's growing and getting to a certain age and then pushing those aspects of yourself away. No, fuck it. If you want to be in my life, if you want to be my friend, you want to hang out with me, if we're going to be in a relationship together, bitch, that means we plan. That's it. That's my life. You know what I mean? And that's totally okay. And we really love this concept, right? Because Leo and the energy of the fifth house, it's romance, it's sex, it's not long-term relationships, but it's like fun. It's like the fifth house energy is a fucking rom-com, you know what I mean? And seventh house energy, that's like just a romantic movie. So, so the fifth house is the energy of creation. It's the energy of creativity. It's our creative projects. It's the sex that we have, and it's the children that we create, right? And it's also our childhoods and being childish. So as you're tapping further and you're doing your manifestation work, you want to be able to tap into the energy of creativity, and the energy of creativity is inherently childish. Children know how to play. Children know how to imagine. Be more like a child. That's what it is. You don't have to be ashamed of your childishness. For those of you Aquarius placements who this resonates with, if you want to work with me, DM me, email me, click the links at somewhere, someplace, depending on where you're watching this, and let's get in touch. Let's figure out a program that works for both of us. I'm out of time. Bye.